Hello and welcome to Newsroom. I'm your host Chris with the CHRILLCAST, and today make sure you guys subscribe and like this video and comment down below so we can all stay connected. That's my version of a dad joke for today, so there you go. All right, listen guys, I'm gonna lay this out for you. There is no reason why the Xbox One and the Xbox 360 Kinect do not have backwards compatibility with the Xbox Series X. Okay, let's get into it. All right. Okay. Here's an article that I saw 2 years ago or so, and I thought, that makes sense. And then the more I've been thinking about this, the less I think it actually makes any kind of sense. So here you go. Only Kinect games are lost to Xbox Series X's backwards compatibility. Every non-Kinect Xbox One game makes the cut. Backward compatibility is a big point of emphasis for both Microsoft and Sony heading into next generation consoles. Sony came out a few weeks ago and confirmed that only 10 games will make the transition from PS4 to PS5. It's a very acceptable percentage. Xbox has similar results, but with more peripheral-induced constraints. The Xbox Director of Program Management, Jason Ronald, has confirmed that every non-Kinect Xbox One game and every single backwards compatible game from the original Xbox and Xbox 360 that doesn't require Kinect will be playable on Xbox Series S and X. Some stuff is lost to obsolete motion tracking cameras that are stashed away deep in closets, and the writing was on the wall for the Kinect for a long time now. No one really expected the Xbox Series X to support it. In fact, Microsoft actually confirmed as much back in July. So, after Microsoft spent all that money and time on developing both the V1 and V2 Kinect sensor, we're going to lose every single Kinect game to history. Because why? So let's just kind of start with some facts here. The Xbox platform started out as a modified DirectX PC architecture platform. That was essentially what the idea was. The Direct Xbox is where the Xbox name comes from. This article was written back in 2 years ago, apparently, by Brett Makadonsky on Destructoid. He discusses that even if we didn't already have explicit confirmation, Microsoft stopped prioritizing the Kinect a long time ago. In late 2017, it stopped production of Kinect. It's true. Early 2018, Microsoft stopped producing the adapter, which, by the way, a third-party company makes a Kinect adapter for about $23. So if you still want to use Kinect on the Xbox One, you don't have an OG. Remember, the OG Xbox One had a specific port for the adapter for the Xbox for the not the adapter for the Xbox One. Has a very strange USB styled connector, but look, it's got like a little L on it. It's got like a little L shape to it, just like the original Kinect, which had its own proprietary connection, but also, like I said, had its own adapter as well. I don't have that one pulled up, but bear with me. The original Kinect was essentially a modified USB as well. Not sure if you can see that, but it's like an orange connector. It's got kind of a hump on the side of it. But either way, both of the Kinects had their own proprietary USB connections, probably because they require different power than the standard, although both can be powered from a USB 3 on your computer. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, in 2018, they stopped producing the adapter, so the Kinect is dead, and the new generation of Xbox has no interest in reviving it. But here's where it gets a little dicey in my mind, because I prefer preservation of all gaming media, not just the gaming media that is popular. So with the advent of Switch Sports coming to the Nintendo Switch and essentially rebooting the Wii Sports franchise, I got to thinking about the Kinect and why don't the Kinect games work on the Xbox One with the Xbox 360 adapter or on the Xbox Series X for both the Xbox One and the Xbox 360? Well, there's not really a good reason why there's no backwards compatibility with the Kinect. Here's a guide on how to connect any version of the Kinect to your PC. There's 4 Kinects essentially. There's the Kinect for the Xbox 360, this old bulky thing, multiple cameras, a little different on the sensors. There's Kinect for Windows, which is essentially the same thing as the 360 one, although it does start with a much higher upgraded firmware, and I do believe it has a USB connection right out the gate. And there's the Kinect for the Xbox One. That's this hulky, bulking thing that shipped with the launch model of the Xbox One. Has dual cameras for 3D scanning. Or not dual cameras for 3D scanning, just a very high quality camera for 3D scanning, and then some other sensors on it. And then the Windows 8 version Kinect for Windows V2, which is the same but has a connection for your PC. So in this article, they recommend getting the Xbox 360 version because it was cheaper. So here's the right stuff that you need. There was a dedicated power supply unit with a USB combo, about $10 for that version. Connect for Windows came with everything you needed to connect to Windows. Connect for Xbox One, you can get a similar combination as you did with the 360, about $10 or so. And then Kinect for Windows V2, it's basically the same thing as the Xbox One version, and it came with a combo to connect to the PC. So yeah, you can then install the Windows drivers for Kinect. Good to go. Install the Kinect SDK. There you go. Then connect your Kinect. There you go. Browse your Kinect toolkit. And you can start working with the Kinect Studio. Boom. Everything's set. And given how closely tied Windows on the PC and the Xbox software is, I can't imagine that it would be that difficult for Xbox team to make the SDK at least compatible for those who want it on the Xbox Series X. Doesn't make sense to me. I mean, you got the adapter that you plug into the wall, plug into the thing, $23. You can still get the V2 sensor for Windows for $100. Brand new. You can still get the Xbox 360 version. Brand new. I mean, this is a little expensive, a little excessive. But you can still get it. It's still possible. Let's see. Used and new. Yeah, used. I mean, okay, that's still expensive. So you're still looking at pretty expensive here. Oh, here we go. New and used for, that might be the new version. Buy new. Either way, it looks like you can get one for around $100 or around $200 something, depending on which version you want to get. Anyways, long story short, Kinect's still out there, still available, brand new. You still buy them. And there's a huge library of games dedicated to just the Kinect. That's it. That's what they're for. You had the Fruit Ninja Kinect. You had Kinect Sports. You had Kinect Adventures. There's Kinect Racing Game. There was Fable for the Kinect. Come on, guys. There's a full-blown Fable game that only worked on the Xbox 360 Kinect. That's a game for a series that is a first-party studio series that you can only play on older hardware And there's a new Fable game coming out this year. That's called Fable the Journey. All the Just Dance games like the Kinect. There's just a ton of games use the Kinect sensor. So the only thing holding this thing back, from the way I look at it, the only thing holding these two sensors back from being able to be used on the Xbox Series X is driver writing and just some basic software compatibility layer. That's it. That's the only reason you can't play Kinect games in the Xbox Series X. And to me, that is a shame. There should be no reason why Xbox hardware, especially peripherals. I mean, they brought back the Duke controller. Come on, guys. There's no reason in my mind why, with simple hardware and a compatibility layer, the Xbox 360 Kinect and the Xbox One Kinect couldn't work on the Xbox Series X. I don't understand that. It doesn't make sense to me. So, yes, this article originally said, let's focus on the haves and the not that can't haves for a second. And it's great that more or less the entire last generation makes the transition to the new generation. But the Kinect was a major part of the Xbox 360. And it was part of the launch of the Xbox One. And to be honest with you, it has never sat well with me that an entire generation of motion sensing games aren't compatible with the future. There's no way to go back and play, and I'm not saying these are the greatest games ever, but just my preservationist attitude towards gaming tells me that the backwards compatibility program is flawed, that it doesn't support a major aspect of the last generation of gaming, that is motion controls. I'm kind of glad the industry moved away from motion controls, but they were still fun nonetheless. And completely skipping over that is like completely forgetting an entire part of the legacy of gaming. And so I'm asking right now, do you agree? Do you think Microsoft should create a compatibility layer for Kinect games? Should you be able to plug in your Kinect from your previous gen console and play the games? I personally think you should. It's not up to Microsoft to provide these peripherals anymore. You don't need to do that. But at least let's make it a compatibility layer or something, some kind of driver that, they already work on Windows, that works on the Xbox Series X and allows you to play your old Kinect games. That's all I'm asking for. I don't think it's that much of a ask, and I don't think it's unreasonable. And anybody that invested in this should be able to still play those games without having to break out a 10-year-old VCR-sized Xbox One console. Anyways, what do you guys think? Comment down below. Do you miss the Kinect? Do you wish the Kinect would play on next-gen consoles? I think the Kinect would probably run way better on next-gen consoles than it did on last-gen consoles. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.